Welcome back, guys, to another session of Fit and Sit. You may have a seat or you may stand, whichever you prefer. Today we're going to be talking about bacterial infections, what they feel like, how to diagnose them, how to fix them. So, real fast, if you have nausea that has been ongoing for weeks and it's not going away, you're not pregnant, you've got your COVID test, your flu test done, and you're still feeling icky, it's probably bacterial. An easy way of kind of getting tested for that, they have a thing called a stool test. They'll have you stool in they call it a bucket, and then you'll send it in and they can test you for Clostridium difficile or C-diff or H.Pylori or E-coli or a bunch of other things. And it's probably one of those. Those ones are fairly common. And I believe E. coli is fairly common since, so many of the products at Walmart are getting retracted from it. But anyway, I digress. Once you've kind of got that figured out, you know that, hey, I'm still feeling icky. If you find out that you have like an acidy feeling whenever you're doing it, and it feels like that, and kind of this burning sensation and antacids help, it's more indicative of H. pylori. If you just have kind of nausea that's ongoing and you've got some diarrhea, or for me it was actually the opposite of diarrhea, that could be more indicative of something like C. diff. Or it could just be one of the common bacterial strains that's floating around in your river or stream or somewhere like that, where fecal matter can enter an oral orifice in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through the nose, eye, ear, mouth. If something gets in somewhere, you have a chance of getting ickified. So, things you can do to help your bacterial infection while they're figuring it out. Fibrous foods, things like cucumbers, things like celery, spinach, great. Fruits, a little bit less just because they have sugar in them, and those type of bacteria tend to love sugar and love making you feel awful for eating it. So if you do have fruits, bananas are pretty good. Papayas aren't too bad. Just non-acidic fruits, basically. Berries are also going to be very good because they have a high fiber. They're very antioxidant. So those are good. The other thing you can go for is out of the kind of fruit and veggie department is lean cuts of meat. So lean cuts of chicken, lean cuts of beef, lean cuts of turkey. Stay away from ground stuff just because it has higher fat content and it's also not as fresh and it's more processed. So just, stay away from it. Don't get frozen meats if you can. Get them where they're, you can poke them and you can squish them and then cook them up. Easy way of kind of cooking them. Make sure you're cooking them somewhere between like 153 and 155. That's what I cook it to, and it keeps your meat palpable and edible and safe. And in fact, it's beyond medium, according to beef. The other thing I would recommend as far as foods go, fats are going to be something that's going to be kind of tough. So black seed oil is something you can have about a teaspoon of a day and see if that helps. That's something that's pretty good. And the other one is, as far as grains go, I would recommend toast, not bread, toast, just because it kind of knocks down on some of the whatever's in toast, the wheat allergen a lot of people have. If you want to get gluten-free, that's fine, go for it. Sweet potatoes are going to be quite good. Beans, specifically black beans that have been rinsed so that they are no longer creating bubbles whenever you rinse them. Or you can just cook them at home and then rinse them again to make sure that they, again, don't make bubbles, less gas, less stomach upset. Those are all going to be very good. Crackers are pretty good as well. Just watch out for crackers because they can constipate you. And with bacterial infections, if you have too slow of a digestive system, what'll happen is it'll actually travel from down here in your large intestine up into your small intestine, which is bad, big bad. So try and stay away from that. So once they figure out what you have, they'll probably put you on an antibiotic of some form. And the key thing whenever you're on that is they give you a probiotic regimen with it. Do not slack on that, whatever you do, because it will screw you up so freaking bad if you do. The one they gave me was Florastor. Florastor is Saccharomyces boulardii, and I just took it twice a day, and it flushes out C. diff. It doesn't stay in there, it just flushes it out. And the other one I found that was really good was BioK Plus. That's actually been researched by the National Institute of Health. Very good. I took, I think, 2 of those a day as well. Very good. You can take those with or without food. The Saccharomyces boulardii, I personally took without food in the beginning. And then after my whole session went over, I took it with or without. It didn't matter. The other one that was very good is Nutra-One's X. It's a probiotic. It has a bunch of good strains in there that have been specifically researched, again, by the National Institute of Health. Very solid. That one, though, take it on more of a minimal dosage, not a maximal dosage, just because it does have a pretty potent kick. So those are 3 probiotics you can be taking. And once you get done with your whole antibiotic regimen, again, stay on the probiotics for a while, at least a month. And they'll probably have you do no dairy. Dairy is very inflammatory for a lot of people, so watch out for that one. Another one that's kind of inflammatory is wheat, gluten, dairy, and there was one other one, I'm forgetting it. But yeah, wheat, gluten, and dairy are very inflammatory, so if you can steer clear of those ones, or just things you know you're kind of allergic to, it's going to help your digestive tract, your intestinal tract, your duodenum, your stomach decrease that inflammation a lot, and you're going to feel a lot better. The other little hack you can do is ice packs. I know this is going to sound really strange, but hear me out. If you're noticing that you're getting nauseous, specifically like if you start getting warmer, ice pack on the belly at night. Game changer. And sleep on your couch, slightly put up with a blanket that is spread between your knees and then tucked in at your shoulders so it doesn't hit your belly. The reason being is whenever your belly gets heated up with that bacterial infection, it makes you more nauseous. So having an ice pack on there helps that keep it down and helps you feel better. Medications you can take that doctors may not tell you about, or they may tell you about. Omeprazole. That one is really a double-edged sword though, guys. Omeprazole, pantoprazole. If you have H.Pylori, it'll help. If you don't, it's going to fuck you hard. So if you feel worse on pantoprazole, stop it immediately. It will wreck you if you have C. diff or something to that effect. It wrecked me on C. diff. Like, it was making me so sick. And if you have H.Pylori, though, it's one of the half of the treatment they give you. They give you that. It's an antacid. And then they give you a antibacterial. The other thing you can take is nausea killers. So for me, the nausea killers they gave me didn't work. So I did Gas-X, simethicone. Simethicone is a mint-based gas reliever. And for me, it helped completely get rid of my nausea. Every time I'd feel nauseous, I'd take 2 pills. And I would just feel better almost immediately. And Gas-X it's not toxic. You can give it to babies, stuff like that. Obviously, call your, doctor provider for appropriate dosaging and stuff like that. But for me, every time I would feel icky, I would take 2 tabs. And I think I took up to, what was it, like 9 or 10 tabs in a day. And I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. I was 176 pounds by the time I was done just because I was so sick I could hardly eat anything. So bear that in mind. But yeah, those are some things you can do. Fibrous foods are great. Broccoli's great. Vegetables are great. Just make sure they're not too acidic. Fruits are great as long as they're not acidic and they're in smaller dosages. Berries are wonderful. Grains are good as long as they're high fiber and they are like more toast or cracker-ish along the way. That way they'll just sit a little bit better in your stomach. Rice. Don't eat rice though. Rice has a compound in there that can actually strip the mucus lining out of your stomach. So if you're noticing that you eat rice and you feel worse afterwards, that's probably why. So take rice with a grain of salt, so to speak. Toast is good. Crackers are good. Black beans are good. Sweet potatoes are good. Quinoa is good. Oh, lean cuts of meat, lean cuts of chicken, beef, turkey, all good. I steered clear of pork. Pork it upset my stomach for some reason. I don't know why. Other people have had it and they've been good. But for me personally, pork was not good. So fill yourself out. Let's see. We've got that. We've got our fruits. We've got our proteins, our grains. Oh, fats. Black seed oil. Black seed oil is good. Just like a teaspoon in the morning with a meal. And then probiotics. BioK Plus, the 50,000 per pill culture or the 80,000 per pill culture twice a day. Fluorostar twice a day. NutraOnes X once or twice a day, however you feel. And at least a month after your infection, make sure you're maintaining those ones. At least a month. And then, let's see, medications, Pepcid AC, pantoprazole, omeprazole, and Gas-X, simethicone. Mint may also help. And ginger. Ginger is a godsend. Ginger, salt, cinnamon, thyme. Those 4 seasonings will save your bacon. Highly recommend. And make sure you go in, you get tested for this stuff. If you're having nausea over a week and a half and you're not pregnant, go in, get tested, get it figured out, guys. And you will be feeling better ASAP. I've had several bacterial infections. They all suck. And yeah. Anywho, catch you guys later. Love y'all. Till then, Ciao for now. Psych in.